How did Branson do in those snaps when he got in there late in the game?
I thought he did. I thought he did really well. He played 7 total and finished the game on the drive that we went down to score on. And I probably should have played him a little bit earlier than I did.
Rotation is not necessarily conventional in the offensive line, but is that something you might look to do a little bit more with some of those guys?
Yeah, it really depends, and it depends on the game. And I told him going into the game, I said, I'm not sure how the rotation's going to go. I said, I got to feel it out and and see what the flow of the game is. And really throughout the game, I felt like the starters, nobody was gassed. I think that's a real tribute to Coach Stack and his staff, and guys were operating at a fairly high level, and so I didn't really substitute much. I had Jacoby in there, I had Zabovic in there. I think Blake played 11 snaps, so a little bit. We had a little bit.
Dave, how did you feel the line performed week 1, and what was your message to them?
The message to them was we didn't really play to our standard. I thought we did a poor job overall protecting the quarterback. The run game we kind of got going early, and I honestly I was not pleased with it. I didn't think we played up to the standard we should play to.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know. Well, one, it was West Virginia. I think they've got a pretty good team, and we knew going in, 55 was a guy that we had to make sure he had a quiet day, and he didn't. And he's a pretty good player. The nose guard, I thought, was probably very comparable to what we'll see this week. He was a big, strong guy, and I think they had a lot to do with it. I think they're going to have a very nice season.
What's the number one thing that needs fixed going into this week if you're not happy with the play?
The number one thing is we've got to do a better job protecting the quarterback. We did at times, and certainly on that last drive we did, but early in the game they hit us on some things that we've worked over and over, and even late in the game. Simple twist, simple linebacker pressure. We did not do a good job with it at all. And it's really just back to the fundamentals of the position and the fundamentals of protection, and certainly the same is true in the run game as well.
What was the temperament of the guys after the game and in all this weekend? Like how have they taken it? Because it was an emotional game. There was a lot of things up and down with it. But like you said, you weren't pleased with it. Did you think they were pleased with it? Do you think that you had to check them a little?
No, I think they got the message loud and clear, and they know when they haven't played well, and we had some guys perform individually okay, but we've got to perform as a unit, and I think they were disappointed. I think the psychology of results is always a big factor. What to say to them, if you've played well but lost. What to say to them if you played poorly and won, which was certainly the case. And Sunday, I guess it was Sunday when we met and watched the tape. I just expressed to them that there's a standard, and we know what the standard is, and we didn't even, I would say we didn't come close. The good news is we had a lot of resolve and a lot of toughness. They're able to survive. We talk about the momentum swings all the time because every football game's the same. You have the momentum, you're up, they're down, all of a sudden they're up, you're down. And I think, as I told them going into the game, one thing we have now, we've got a battle-hardened, tested group. So, they bounced back today. I thought we had an excellent practice, and I expect the same throughout the rest of the week.
Do you think a battle like that in the opening week against a Power 5 conference opponent is valuable, or would you rather have played, a team from a mid-major conference that kind of allows for your guys to hone their skills a little bit more? Which would you have rather preferred?
I'd rather play a game like that, and it makes camp easier. It keeps they're focused throughout camp, and then the days leading into the game. So I'd much rather open with a team like that.
And then what about following that game with another Power 5 opponent? Does that make it even harder, even like you said with the psychological stuff, knowing that, hey, you weren't your best in week 1 and now you have another tough test in week 2? How do you approach that?
Well, like, I don't think of it as, it's another Power Five school. The way we approach it, it's just the next team showing up that's on the schedule. It doesn't really matter if it's Power Five, FCS, or whatever they are, Division II. It really doesn't matter. Our preparation is always the same every week, and that will never change. And, and we've got to certainly have a big test here in Tennessee coming in.
What's the biggest challenge from Tennessee that you've seen so far?
Well, I think I said this a year ago, and it's true again this year, because they have everybody. They have 9 starters back, and all four starters up front. I think 2 of the 3 linebackers are the same. And I think I said it last year. I would say it again this year. I think they have the biggest, strongest, fastest defensive front that we faced probably since Clemson. So that's the challenge.
Maybe 2
Dave?
more for Coach?
Dave, I think you were GA under Coach Majors.
Coach Majors, yes.
How special is this, and what was that relationship like with Johnny?
That relationship was, I don't know, I can't tell you that we were real close, but Coach Majors was all business and he was all football. And, the thing he always preached to us as graduate assistants was, enthusiasm, fundamentals, and the kicking game. And I think he's famous for that. And he didn't just say it, he truly believed in that. And, I loved working for him. Phil Fulmer was a line coach. At the time, I had a chance to visit with him before the game. I hope I'll get a chance to see him. I hope he makes this trip and have a chance to see him at this one. But, it was a great staff. Walt Harris was the offensive coordinator. We all know that name. And, it was Ron Zook was the secondary coach. So it was like a who's who of big-time future coaches, future head coaches. But, I loved working for Coach Major.
Did he give you a one-on-one interview when you got hired?
No, he didn't. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure that he knew I was the first day. I'm not sure he knew who I was. But he found out. And the thing with Coach Majors, when a play back in those days, when a play was run like in spring ball or training camp, the one thing you learn to do really fast is, as soon as the play was over, everybody was in a pile, you sprinted to the pile and grabbed one of your guys and jogged them back to the huddle and coached them on the way. And you didn't want to be the guy that got caught not doing that.
Anything final?